Hi Cancer, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your Love and Romance reading for mid-November through the end of December 2018. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you don't know what those signs are for you, I do have a resources page on my website, and I have a couple links there where you can go and find that information out. So Cancer, today I'm going to be drawing one card from the Sacred Geometry deck and one card from the Afterthoughts Tarot. Let's go ahead and get started for Cancer. Beautiful water sign. Oh, okay. Oh, two cards, okay. So we have Star Tetrahedron. We have the Kiss. Look at that. So we have number 3, and we have 12, Star Tetrahedron. And that's number 3 as well, because we have 12, 2 plus 1. So 2 3s. Well, I mean, I will say for some of you, there could be a third person involved, of course. You know, I don't want to not say that. But beyond that, I kind of feel more like it's mind, body, spirit, you know? It's like you're really looking for that kind of connection. When we look at this kiss, you can see how soulful it is, how deep it is. It's not just like a sweet kiss. It's like a pretty intense union between them. And we have, you know, the 3 circles here, you know. So I feel like everything is intertwined, mind, body, spirit. You're feeling this whole connection with someone in a very, very beautiful way. And if you haven't manifested it yet, you're wanting that, you're desiring that, you're meaning to go out and get it. And we have the Star Tetrahedron. And I kind of feel like there could be some kind of spiritual partnership here, represented here with the star. And again, we have this kind of, as I'm feeling it, very much kind of a mind, body, spirit kind of connection here. Could be for some of you, and baby makes 3. That's what I'm also getting. I think too, as I feel it, Cancer, if you are in partnership, who is the star? You know, is the partnership the star? Or is one of you the star? Because really, the star has no central point. You know, in a star, every point of a star is important, and so something to consider. I don't know why it's coming in this way, but for some of you, you know, it's important to understand that, like the partnership itself is the star, and the star is made up of all these different points of light, so to speak. So even though sometimes one particular individual in the partnership may be more in focus, it's important to remember that you're not alone in partnership. Now, for those of you who are single, I feel like there are many points in your life that you are working to create more balance around so that you can feel more harmonious mind, body, spirit. So that it's not just about getting somebody in order to fulfill what feels like a void inside of you, but to recognize that you are a miraculous collection of molecules and miracles, and that you are always connected to spirit, to your physical incarnation, and to your beautiful creative mind. So there's a lot going on here, and a lot of times we may feel, especially Cancers are so heart-centered, you know, and so about the emotion, you know, you're wanting to connect with another and to share that emotion. But you don't need someone, and this is sometimes where we can get off track, is beginning to believe through the ego's perception that we need another person in order to fulfill this deep kiss, this deep longing. And especially if you have some kind of spiritual partnership going on with someone, many times in a spiritual partnership there may be a what feels like a delay in getting together. But the delay, the seeming delay, can create a deep well of longing. And part of the spiritual growth, in order to actually manifest in the physical, the partnership you're wanting that feels more spiritual in nature, or is a spiritual partnership in the physical, is to begin to work with that feeling, those feelings of deep longing that really are related to the ego and the inner child, recognizing that the longing that you're wanting is a longing for self, a longing for love for self and from the divine, and that can be represented and manifested in a physical partnership. But sometimes that's part of what feels like the delay, Cancer, is that longing, because I'm really drawn to the longing and the soulfulness of this kiss and that union that occurs. Well, the union occurs when two people have released the expectation and the agendas that this person is going to fulfill me, because they've already done a lot of spiritual work on self, so that there's no filling that needs to be done by another. it doesn't mean that you can't manifest a relationship if you are single during this particular time frame, but you're being asked to consider these things and to work on them within self, as you have already been doing. And the same if you are in partnership. You don't want something that feels codependent. Again, it goes back to each of you. The relationship itself is the star, but each individual is important in and of itself. So you begin to release feelings of codependency and this kind of thing during this particular time frame. It's a very sort of intense spiritual work that you are doing, Cancerians, during mid-November through the end of December. Let's get the After Tarot and see what comes up there. You may want to listen to this reading a couple of different times because I came through really quickly and it's kind of intense. So this energy is what's coming up through the months of mid-November through the end of December, and then the After Tarot will be what we can kind of expect or look forward to at the end of December. What happens after all of this energy plays out? Okay, here we go. All right, we're two of Pentacles. So by the end of December, going into January, we do have what feels like a lot going on. Now, for those of you, it's a small percentage. For those of you who there's, as I mentioned, 3 people, we have this idea of juggling 2 people. And so if you are doing that, it looks like you will probably still be doing that as we go into the end of December, where that situation may still be going on. But you're gonna, I think, don't take on any more. And for those of you who are single, you may be juggling work, family, the holidays are coming up, and it may be that you just not really have a lot of availability to be open and available for love and romantic entanglements, and that's fine. I'm really drawn to the idea that there appears to be more people coming in, like a family. So it's just a lot happening for many of you Cancers by the end of December. And if you're coupled, again, I think you're both juggling a lot. So remember that it's important to keep checking in with each other if you are partnered, because it's not just about you or your partner, it's about the partnership. And sometimes we can get very busy with work or other things, and the partnership can feel like it's not being nurtured. Nurture yourself first, then nurture, your partner and your partnership, this kind of thing. And if you're single, even though you have a lot going on, make sure you continue to care for self. We're looking at this sort of mind, body, spirit harmony kind of thing. And in order to feel harmonious and in balance, you can't take on any more than you're already doing here. So just watch your commitments as you go into the end of December. Make sure you're not overbooking yourself or trying to make too many people happy. And Cancers are all about the family and caring for others and the emotions, and it may feel too much for you. So it's okay to say no once in a while, Cancer. All right, so I hope you find that helpful, and I will see you either on the next video or on the weekly spiritual self-mastery class, Ego and Heart, or at the Sloan Academy, where I have my online courses, or on the online podcast, the audio podcast. Much love to you, Cancer.